Hey guys, I just thought I'd share my story and experience on coming out. I wasn't going to, but I met somebody that's like inspired me to talk about it. So yeah, let's go. Basically, when I was in school, I kind of didn't know that I was gay. Does that make sense? But yeah, I was with my friends on a dinner time, and we were like all sat around this table, girls all talking about boys and teachers and stuff. So they just basically, we were like talking about how hot the teachers are, and they were like, oh, well, who do you like out of them all? And I like, So I was like, oh God, just guess. So they were like suggesting all these men, and nothing was coming out, and I was like, no, I don't like them. So in the end, they got like this piece of paper and they wrote down every teacher's name on it, and they were like ticking them off one by one. And one name came up, and it was the only one left. And they sort of like looked at each other, and I was like, "What's wrong? Why are you like, acting the way you are?" And they went, "Say it's a girl," and I was like, "Oh." And it kind of hit me then, and I was like, oh, okay, that's like kind of not right in a type of way. So I was like, I shrugged it off because they were like, oh, you like, gay or whatever. So I knew from then. I just like, I didn't know what to think about it. I didn't know if I liked the way I was or anything, and I just started like questioning myself about it and stuff like that, and I hated myself for it. And I kind of like sort of neglected myself as well, because I stopped eating. My hair started falling out, and I was getting really stressed and angry about it. And some days I just like, honestly, I didn't want to be here, like. But I sort of like started dropping hints to my parents about it, because I thought I'm gonna need to come out one day. So I just started like saying, Mom, what would you do if I like ended up gay, like? And she was just like, she just didn't give me the answer that I needed to hear, and it kind of made me feel worse about myself. And in the end, I just scrapped it. I thought, they can't find out, they can't. And the worry built up a little bit more, and it got to the stage where I was just like, I'd be sitting in my bedroom just staring at anything that I could hurt myself with. And one day I did start self-harming, and it got a bit depressing, sort of thing. So obviously then I kind of like, my parents found out about it. I started drawing attention to myself about it, and they wanted to know what's going on, and I couldn't open up to them. So I started having counselling and going back and forth to the doctors about all this rubbish in my head and that. And one day we were both just like sitting on the sofa. I don't know where my father was, but we were watching telly, and my head was just going round and round and round. So I just turned to her, and I just like, Mom, I'm gay. And she just looked at me in like shock, and she was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, shut up, you wear Dad, it's probably your age, it's probably nothing to do, it's probably fine, you get married to a man, you'll have loads of kids running around. And I was like, no, Mum, I don't fancy men, I fancy women. And she was like, okay, that's okay. And I just couldn't get it through to her. And then I was like, please don't tell no one now, I'm still nervous about it as it is, so she was like, oh, don't worry, I won't, this will be between me and you, and it'll stay between me and you. And I was like, oh, thank God for that, that's a bit of a relief. So when I finished speaking to her, I was okay. I felt a bit better in myself because I knew I got it off my chest. But then I think it was the day after, I came home from school and my mother was a bit like shy towards me, and I was like, well, what's wrong? And she just basically said, I'm sorry, but I told the family. And I was like, oh, why? I told you not to tell no one. Why have you done this to me? What am I going to do? I started panicking. I was like, oh my God, I can't see him again. And all this rubbish. And I was just like, oh, I don't know what to do. So she was like, oh, I'm going down my auntie's. Not going to name names. I'm going down my auntie's. Do you want to come? And I was like, no, I am okay, I'll stay home, you know, I'll see you later. And she was like, oh, come on, you've got to come down, you know, you can't hide away from him forever. So I was like, oh, okay. So I went down my auntie's. And she was really nice. She was, she came up to me, she gave me a massive hug. She was like, oh, well done, you know, you've done a really brave thing, you've come out and we're so proud of you and all this and that. And she was like, oh, it's not going to make you any different because we know that you know your sexuality. And yeah, it was just a massive confidence booster. And since then, really, I don't care who knows now, and I seem to take everything better than what I did. Than when I first, you know, found out and stuff. But yeah, my confidence has just gone through the roof with it, like, and I'm starting to like the way I am as well now. Yeah, so that's it for this video. I hope it helps if you're going through the same sort of stuff and you're in a similar situation. I will be making some more videos on some advice and tips to like help you come out sort of thing to your parents and to friends, but I honestly wouldn't worry as much. It's not as bad as it seems, to be honest. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed.